So this video, I have 5 decoupage projects, and I came across this cute little box at the thrift store, and it was pretty roughed up and needed to have something done to it. I paid $1.50 for this, and you could get similar ones at Michael's or Walmart. And I'm using this black chalk paint, and I'm just going to cover it all up. And if you liked it before, I'm sorry. But it is going to be all black. So then after I let it dry, I've purchased this decoupage paper on Amazon, and I'm going to use the black one, as you can see here, and I am going to just cut out flowers, the flower portion on here to go around the outside of it. So here I'm just measuring and trimming down, and I'm just cutting out the leaf there and the flowers. So now I'm just seeing where I want to put it and giving a good layer of Mod Podge to the side here, and then letting it dry. I'm speeding up the drying by using my hair dryer, and now I'm just going to place it on there and put some parchment paper over it and use a medium heat iron and just go over that to adhere it to the dried Mod Podge. This is the first time I'm using this procedure, or technique, and it stayed on really well. And so then I'm just giving it a light coat of Mod Podge to go over it. So here I'm cutting out the second one and doing the same thing and having it straight on the bottom and then covering it. And this is the third one, sorry. I already did the second one. And here I'm just making sure that all of that excess on the top is taken off. So now I'm just giving it a full coat all the way around of Mod Podge to make sure it's all even and the color looks right. So now I'm doing the top, and I've cut the hummingbird portion out, and I cut the little flowers there that I was showing you. And I've already put a layer of Mod Podge on the top of the lid and dried it. And so now I'm just going to put these little flowers on. But I thought it needed one more flower to balance it out. So there it is, and I'm just sticking that parchment paper on top again and using that iron. But what I did was I did it a little too long, and it pulled up some of the Mod Podge. So you want to be careful and not do it too long and not too hot of an iron. Now I'm just covering it up with another base. So I'm using a knife here to cut open the lid portion, and I would rather have used a X-Acto knife. So if you're going to do this, use an X-Acto knife to cut that. And I'm just making sure to sand down where the paper was sticking together and making it smooth. And there we go. I thought it turned out really pretty. I was so excited when Emily from Farm Charm Chic chose me to be the guest host of the 5 Under 5 collaboration this time. I love her channel. She does a lot of farmhouse and modern and inexpensive DIYs, as well as thrift flips. So check out her channel and make sure that you let her know I sent you, as well as the playlist down below. Give everyone your love and make sure to watch the full playlist and like and comment on each video. That helps everyone's channel out a lot. So thank you, Emily, for choosing me to be the guest host this time. Now let's get back to the DIYs. So for the rest of the projects, I'm using the tissue technique that I have learned over the last few years, and I'm taking an 8.5 by 11 piece of copy paper, and I'm cutting white tissue paper and to size, and then just taping all 4 sides lightly down, and make sure to get it as close to the edge as you can. So then you want to put it in a laser printer or an inkjet printer to print your design. For my next decoupage DIY, I have this canvas bag that I've had forever, and I thought I would use this, and so it cost me nothing, but they do have them at the Dollar Tree for $1.25 in different colors even. And I'm just putting that paper envelope in between to protect the fabric on the other side. And I'm going to cut this design that I created on Canva out and try to Mod Podge it. So this is my first time using Mod Podge on fabric, and I purchased that fabric Mod Podge on Amazon, and it works really well, but you really have to know what you're doing. And first time I didn't, so I won't show you what the other side looked like, but I learned that you want to make sure to have possibly a square piece if you're going to put the Mod Podge on the fabric first, and then that way it covers the square that you're putting on, and make sure that you don't go over the paper that you're Mod Podging on. So I thought I would try it this way instead, and so I'm putting it on the back, a layer on the back of the paper, so that I can just flip it over and put it on so that it's not having any kind of weird background Mod Podge coming through, if that makes sense. I'll have to show you what it looked like at the end. So now I'm just carefully putting it in this area that I want it to possibly be centered. And just want to make sure that you're smoothing it out as you go, and having a wet brush or wet fingertips helps out a lot. And so I'm just smoothing it as best as I can. Like I said, this is my first time trying it, so bear with me. So this design I created on Canva, and I will have a link down below that you can use it for whatever project that you want. It doesn't have to be for a Mod Podge or even for fabric. It's a design that I created, and it's free. You don't have to have a Canva account. But now I am just putting the Mod Podge over the top of this and trying to be careful not to get too far over the edge. And also I wanted to make sure to let you know that I sprayed this design with clear coat spray to protect it from bleeding out. And then also a trick I think I should have done was used the parchment paper and the light iron before I did this portion, because now it showed the streaks from the brush, and the other way didn't show the streaks. So just a tip, make sure to do the little iron thing before you do the top coat over it. And I'll show you at the end how it turned out. So my next project, I have this sign that I picked up at the thrift store. I paid $2 for it, and it's pretty stinking cute on its own, but I don't have a store to put it up, and so I thought I would transform it. You can find similar tags like this at Michael's, or Dollar Tree even has them with their little decorations on them that you can scrape off and reuse them. But I'm using Ivory Waverly paint, chalk paint, and I'm just going to give it one thick coat over it, and I wanted to keep that distressed look, so I'm trying to be real careful around and just dab it around where that piece ends there. So then I took it outside and sanded down the paint so that it was all smooth. And then you just want to wipe it down once you're done. I created this design on Canva as well, and I will have the link below for this design for you to be able to print out for free too. And so I'm just going to cut all the way around as close as I can to it. But I did forget I needed to spray it with the clear first before I did cut it out. This just protects that colored ink on the inkjet printer from smearing or causing your design to not look very crisp. So I have it all cut out, and I'm just finishing up cutting the center part out because you don't want that on your project. So since it's a round picture, I thought I would put the Mod Podge on the back of it and then turn it over and adhere it to the wood. And it did kind of turn out better, so you just have to be careful where you're laying it and make sure it's center and how you want it. You can always lift up and put back down, and always use a wet brush and wet fingertips. Like I said, it helps to make things smoother. So then I had already given it a coat over the top of that wreath, and now I'm setting where the words are going to be a coat to adhere to. So again, I created this on Canva. It's just wording that I chose to print out, and I'm going to adhere it to the bottom here. Just trying to make sure it looks straight as far as where I want it. And again, I did put that coat of Mod Podge under it, and now I'm going to use the iron technique on it and just lightly iron over it so that it sticks. And what it does is it just reactivates the Mod Podge to stick to the back of it without sticking to the parchment paper, which is really nice. It's so fast and nice. So then, of course, you want to give it a coat of Mod Podge over it to seal it in. So then I just put a coat over everywhere on it just to protect it. It will be outside, so I wanted to make sure it was sealed really well. I have seen this type of sign done before and how cute they are with the twine on them, so I'm going to give it a cute little wrap around a few times and crisscross to make it look super cute. I got the idea for my next project from a Pinterest post, and this is what hers looked like. So how I did it, I used a plunger from Dollar Tree. You will also want to get a 4x4 and cut it down to size, and I'll have the measurements in the description. There's my cut down part of the plunger, and 2 tuna cans, of course, cleaned and not smelly. So then you want to take the 4x4 and just measure the center portion, because that's where you want to glue one of the cut dowels. So now you just want to take your hot glue and grab one of those dowels and tuna can and just glue the dowel to the center portion of the bottom of the tuna can. You want to get it as accurate as you can. Now for the other side of the dowel, you want to just get some glue and glue it to the center mark that you put on each of the 4x4s. So now I'm going to paint them with some black chalk paint, except for one side or one panel of the wood base. So then that one panel, I'm going to paint it just some white paint, and I do finish the bottom with some black paint. So now that whole part of white I'm going to cover with the Mod Podge. So after letting the Mod Podge dry, I'm just putting my picture that I printed on my laser printer with the tissue paper on it, and I'm going to use that same parchment paper and iron technique, and it adheres to it really well. So then I'm just going to use some light sandpaper and remove the excess tissue paper that's on around each edge. So of course you want to seal it in with a nice coat of the Mod Podge over the top. And make sure it's matte for like any kind of farmhouse decor. That's what I'm using here. Then I'm just going all the way around the whole piece, including the tin can, to seal all of that chalk paint in, and we're done. And we're just going to repeat the steps for the taller candle holder. And I really love these. I think they turned out great. Wait till you see it at the end. For my last decoupage project, I picked this little shade up at the thrift store, and you'll have to watch the video. I'll have a link above. And I'm going to Mod Podge flowers and leaves all over it. So I hope you enjoy this one. So I have these flowers that I printed out from Canva, and I thought I was going to use these leaves here, but I ended up not. But I'm kind of trying to position where I want to put them, and I think it turns out really super cute. So after I figure all that out, we'll get putting some Mod Podge on. So now that I know what flowers I'm going to use and what leaves, I'm getting some fabric Mod Podge, and I'm going to be just giving it a really good coat on one panel of the shade. So now I'm going to place the flowers where I think I would like to have them. And here I didn't put enough, I didn't go high enough on the Mod Podge, but I'll fix it. And you can layer over it and then go back and add a little bit more Mod Podge in between the flowers so that you know that it's all glued together. And it just turned out so pretty. I really like how it turned out. So let me know so far what you think. So as you can see, I fixed it and went up a little higher behind them, and now I'm just adding another leaf in there, and hopefully that looks better. Just lifting it up and putting it behind. And this is where I'm going in under each of those pieces that are overlapping to give it more of the Mod Podge so that it can stick together. Now I'm giving the whole thing a good coat over the top. And you don't want to do it too thick. I learned that that gives it kind of more of a sheen as well. And if you want a more matte, I've learned that adding a little bit of water to it will help it be not so shiny. So then hubby gave me this idea to print a smaller picture of that pink flower and glue it to the top portion of the panel. I thought that was a great idea. So again, I'm just giving a good coat on the top portion of that panel so that I can put that cute little flower there. So then again, just cover it with a coat of the fabric Mod Podge. And I wanted the panel to look all the same sheen, so I made sure that the whole panel was covered. So I just repeated those steps, but I only did every other panel instead of every single panel. And here you can see how I'm just making sure kind of to try to match it, but not exact, you know. I just kind of want it to look uniform, but it doesn't have to be exact. I hope you like it. Okay, so tell me which one is your favorite, and I hope you do have a favorite, at least one. I love all of them. I think they all turned out really, really nice, and I am pretty proud of them. I hope that you'll try these different techniques, and don't be afraid to try the fabric. Like, I was kind of afraid to start that, but it did turn out super pretty, and I want you to make sure to check out that playlist down below and don't miss one video. Comment on each of them and let them know that I sent you. And I am so grateful for Emily for having me as the guest host for this collaboration, and I hope that you all enjoyed my video. And if you're new here, please consider to subscribe, and please like and comment on all my videos. It helps my channel out a lot. Thank you again, and have a wonderful day.